Hi, this is Joe Patrica. I'm the Chief Academic Officer of the International Academy of Film and Media, and I'm also a screenwriter and filmmaker here in Los Angeles in the United States. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk to you all, and congratulations on everyone who's in the festival. This is just a glance at screenwriting, just something to inspire you, something to get you started. There's so much that you can do. Sometimes it can be so overwhelming to find out all this information and what can I really do and what should I really do. But I do think focus a little bit and write. Just always write. And you'll get there. It'll happen. And you'll be able to write screenplays. So just some really basics to begin with. We are going to talk about format first. Only because while it seems like a minor factor, I do think that a correctly formatted screenplay, immediately makes it a film script, immediately makes it a television script, immediately makes it something that's professional, something that someone who is in the film industry or in the filmmaking world can read and understand. A correctly formatted script not only portrays you, the writer, as a professional, but it also gives other filmmaking entities the opportunity to begin to estimate the budget of the project, because the way the page is broken down equals so many minutes of screen time, and the locations are specified, and the number of characters are specified, and it really does give everyone an opportunity to begin to do all of their jobs to make a film. So here are the basics. 12-point Courier font is the standard industry font. Don't cheat it, don't try to squeeze more words on a page, don't try to use a font that's a little more in the mood of your script. 12-point Courier font. A 1.5-inch left margin, a 1-inch right margin, 1 inch at the top and bottom of the page. So there's approximately 55 lines per page, regardless of the paper size. Top and bottom margins can adjust if you're using something larger than an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. Dialogue speaker names are all in caps when the dialogue speaker is in the center of the page, and it's 3.7 inches from the left side of the page, or 2.2 inches from the margin. Actor parentheticals, so under the actor name, if they say quietly or whispers or shouts, 3.1 inches from the left side of the page. Try to avoid using too many parentheticals, because then you're directing the actor, not just writing the dialogue. Dialogue is 2.5 inches from the left side of the page, 1.5 inch from the margin. And pages should be numbered in the top right corner, flush to the right margin, a 1/2 inch from the top of the page. Numbers should be followed by a period. The first page is not numbered. The title page is also not numbered. So the first page to have a number is the second page of the screenplay, and then so on. So a page of correctly formatted screenplay is approximately 1 minute of screen time. So that really gives everyone an opportunity to say, oh, it's a 30-page script, it'll be a 30-minute film. It's a 90-page script, it'll be an 1.5-hour film. So this way, it gives everyone a guidelines. It's a professional standard that you can rely on, that you can use, and it is really helpful for you to put your best foot forward. And putting your best foot forward is having something that's correctly formatted. So once you kind of understand that you have to do things correctly formatted, and also understand that sometimes the logistics of this, making something correctly formatted, using software that formats it correctly, can take up all your time. And therefore, you might not spend the time you need writing. Write first. Write longhand. Write on a notepad. Write by hand. Write in your computer the best way you can type it. And then you can bring it into a software that can help you format it for you. Now, there are so many softwares on the market that can help you format your screenplays. And it makes it very easy. And this way you don't always have to be measuring the top and the bottom of the page and where the dialogue goes and all that kind of stuff. So the sort of industry standard, and when I say industry standard, I mean American and European industry. And that's not to say that that's the primary industry. That's just the one that I know and I work with the most. So the industry standard is a software called Final Draft. And you can find it here. I just got this little quick worksheet, finaldraft.com. It's the professional industry standard. It gives a free 60-day trial, so you can try it out and see if it works for you. And it's a one-time cost of $199 US, which can be quite expensive for a upcoming screenwriter, as well as for someone who's trying this out or trying to see if they like this. There are other options that are less commonplace, but also widely used and can help you format your screenplays. And that is Celtx, C-E-L-T-X, and Celtx.com. It offers a 7-day free trial, and it's $7.50 per month. So that's much cheaper if you only want to use it for, say it's 3 months that you're writing your screenplay. That's $25, which is a lot less than something else. But you have to remember to cancel it, and there's all those kind of stipulations. But that does come out to $90 a year, so it's about half the price of Final Draft. So that's very helpful. Now, there are some free options. Something like FadeInPro.com is free, but when you print out a page or when you make a PDF of your writing, you get a watermark on the page. So that's not really the most professional looking way to do it, but it is a way to use a formatting software for free, and it does have limited features. Now, if you do decide to purchase it, it's a one-time fee of $79.99 US. So again, that's still cheaper than the first two that I mentioned, and it can allow you to do a lot. And then there is also like a totally free version, and there are many. You could even do macros on Microsoft Word that can format a script. The problem is that's a lot of work and a lot of things to think about. And also, you generally, though you try really hard, though you are, exquisitely anal about making sure everything's exact, you'll miss something. And then suddenly something will be confusing because dialogue will be on the left side of the page, or a character's name will not be formatted correctly. So using just Microsoft Word, I find is a little difficult. A free option is called ARC, A-R-C, Studio Pro, and there's a free version that has some limitations, but it's free. There's no watermark. You can use it as much as you want or whatever. And then it's $59 for a year's use of that. So that's a great option. So there are some options for you to get started screenwriting. And then once you get started screenwriting, you have to figure out what are you going to write about, how to format your story. There's so much information online. There's so many great sites where you can go and find out information about screenwriting. Really, two of the best things to do are to watch movies, just watch movies, and also watching movies and trying to write the scene. You watch a movie that you love, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, or you love Yojimbo, there's all kinds of movies that you might love. And you watch a scene that you love to watch, and you write it as if you think the script looks like. And fortunately, with the internet, you oftentimes can find the actual screenplay. So you do your version, and then you look at the actual screenplay, and you can see how they differ or how close you came. And it's a great exercise. It can be tedious, but it's worth the effort because then you really kind of understand screen language and how to do it. There is something called the Story Spine, which is just a tool that is basically a way to sort of get your story organized. It starts with Once Upon a Time, which is the beginning of the story. The world of the story is introduced. And then it's Every Day. Again, so It's once upon a time, and you fill in the rest of the sentence. And then every day, and you fill in the rest of the sentence. And that's the beginning of your story. And then there's but one day, something different happens, an event. And the character breaks routine. And that's where your story really starts to get going. And because of that, becomes the middle of the script. And because of that, and because of that, it keeps going on. There are consequences that happen after breaking the routine. And it's unclear if the main character will come out in the end or what will actually happen in the end. Until finally, that's the climax of the script. You fill that in and the main character embarks on success or failure. And ever since then, the end. The main character succeeds or fails. An example of this, just to do an example that everyone might be familiar with, again, it's a Hollywood movie, excuse me, but The Wizard of Oz. Hopefully everyone's seen The Wizard of Oz, a wonderful old 1939 classic with Judy Garland. Once upon a time, there was a little girl named Dorothy who was carried by a tornado to the magical world of Oz. Every day she journeyed towards the Emerald City in order to ask the great and powerful wizard to help her get home. But one day she got to the wizard and met him. Because of that, the wizard told Dorothy that he would only help her get home if she killed the Wicked Witch of the West. Because of that, Dorothy encountered many dangers and was successful in destroying the witch. Because of that, the wizard agreed to take Dorothy home in his hot air balloon. Until finally, on the day of their departure, Dorothy ran after her dog Toto and missed the balloon. And ever since then, Dorothy learned that she always had the power to get home on her own, which she did. So it's just a way to organize your story idea. You can get into things like 3-act structure, you can get into beats, you can get into all sorts of things to inspire your screenwriting. But I think watching movies and reading scripts. Scripts are available online. JohnAugust.com has a lot of a beautiful script library. There are many other really great script libraries out there. So look them up and start reading screenplays. It's a format to get used to. It's not necessarily the easiest or the most common way to read a script or read a thing that your attention is gone to. Again, if you're thinking of that page a minute idea, it should take you maybe an hour and a half or 2 hours to read the script of a feature film. And that, is 2 hours of your time, which isn't that much. And you just become more and more familiar with it. There's so many resources out there, but writing, rewriting, writing some more, giving it to people to read, writing some more after you find out what people say about it is the way to go. So there are really wonderful ways to start screenwriting and so many options today to do it. So I hope you have a chance. I hope this was somewhat helpful. I hope I did not talk too fast. And I wish you all luck. And congratulations to the filmmakers in the festival. And congratulations to all the writers out there who are embarking on writing a new script. It's always exciting. It always is a place to dream about what's going to happen next. And I look forward to meeting some of you and reading your work in the future or watching it up on the big screen. Thank you.